Happy end of April. Unlike the struggles that I had to come up with ideas in March, this month I definitely had a theme in my head. Two, in fact: identity and legacy. And those certainly go hand in hand. At the time of me posting this video, it's been 112 days since my wife Daniela passed. The hardest 112 days of my life. But in addition to all of that pain and grief, I found an unexpected additional struggle. I'm finding that I'm being forced to redefine who I am as an individual. I spent so many years defining myself as half of a partnership, as a piece of a larger whole. But now I have to be my own person, wholly and entirely. But who am I, even? What identity do I have that is self-contained within me and doesn't rely on my past relationship? Well, that's a question I'm still working on answering. But it brings me to an interesting concept. And I promise that this whole video will not be as grim as it appears from the first part. But nevertheless, when someone dies, what do we generally see on their epitaph, on their headstone? Beloved wife, perhaps? Beloved husband, mother, father, sister, brother, friend? You get the idea. Generally, we define our departed loved ones by the role that they played in our lives. What we don't often see are messages like, "Here lies a woman who always stayed late at the office," or "Rest in peace, Dad. I know how much you loved Cheetos." It sounds comical to even suggest such a thing, but that's honestly exactly my point. We often distill down the most meaningful attributes of a person to preserve those above all the others. And this, to me, is where identity and legacy converge, as they're honestly two sides of the same coin. On the one side, we have identity. This is how we define ourselves in this life, the things that we hold the most dear in our hearts, the ways in which we could be introduced to other people. This could be our careers, hobbies, accomplishments, or personality traits. On the backside, we have legacy, how we will be remembered by those who come after us. Those things about others that we hold the most dear. And while there's a lot of similarity between the two, the important distinction is the perspective. Each of our lives touches those around us differently. We could say that the most integral part of our life is one thing, and yet even our closest companions might say that it's an entirely different one. And I believe this is why most epitaphs are focused on relationships and connections rather than anything else. Those are the most universally acknowledged traits about a specific person. So that's how we choose to remember our loved ones. And to be clear, I'm not saying that that's a bad way to think. No, we have the right to uphold whichever traits are the most valuable in our minds. But what I am trying to say in this video, though, is I'd like to highlight that we often overlook the parts that other person favored about themselves. It's bittersweet that the human experience is so unique that often our individual perspective of our life dies with us. And that's where I've decided to challenge myself, and by extension, all of you this month. Let's each strive to live our lives in such a way where our values become undeniable to those around us, whether that's through artistic expression, faith, music, writing, community service, or anything else we can imagine. Let's bridge the gap between our own internal, private identity and our external, lasting legacy. Let's show the world around us who we are in a way that they not only can't forget, but don't want to. And I'll put my money where my mouth is, and I'll do the same thing right here in this video, not out of ego, but out of confidence, and out of honesty and vulnerability. So hi, I'm John Bannon. I'm not just a widower. I'm not just a loving son, brother, cousin, nephew, and friend. I'm also a devout Catholic. I'm a dog owner. I'm an aerospace engineer, a martial artist, an author, a photographer, a cosplayer, a maker, a Lego enthusiast, an annual Comic-Con attendee, and if you can't tell from the previous titles, a colossal nerd, and that's just to name a few. But I'm striving to add even more things to that list all the time. So now I'll give you the same challenge I'm giving myself, because At the end of the day, none of us knows the hour that God will decide is our last on this earth. Between this hour and that final one, let's amass so many meaningful identities that writing our epitaph feels like crafting an epic novel to immortalize our legacy. Let's each build up such a massive legacy for those that we leave behind that they have absolutely no choice but to say emphatically, we're going to need a bigger headstone. So on a final note, as I always like to say, everything happens for a reason. I truly believe that. So when I was trying to decide on a song for this month, I remembered this one. This song is about what could be, the potential within all of us, even in the face of insurmountable hardships. And it felt fitting to supplement those things that I just discussed. And then I discovered another fact worth sharing. This song was actually released on October 14th. And for those who don't know, that was my late wife's birthday. And that's when I knew for sure that I had the right song for this video. So with that in mind, please enjoy the best sunrises of April 2026.
Just for one day, we can be heroes. Just for one day, and you can be me, and I'll drink all the time. 'Cause we're lovers, and that is a fact. Yes, we're lovers, and that is that. Though nothing will keep us together, we could still die. Just for one day, we can be heroes forever and ever. What you say? Dolphins can swim. Though nothing will keep us together, we can beat them forever